Hi, everybody. It's time for another look. I'm Stephanie Phelps, and on this show, we have a very special show for you. I am here with the Reverend Dr. Otis Moss Jr., pastor of the Olivet Institutional Baptist Church, also my pastor. And
Yes.
Pastor Moss, thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you.
just
It's an honor
welcome
to be
the
here.
show. I am so glad to have you here. And you know, I was thinking right before we went on air, I'm thinking about trying to get like my enthusiasm and my energy up because you have such a calm and relaxing demeanor. And so I don't know, maybe we should start with, where does that come from? Does that come from your growing up time? Where does that come from?
I think it comes from my father,
Okay.
who was very calm, deliberate,
Okay.
some would say slow
Okay.
individual. And maybe it also has something to do with our rural, our country heritage.
Okay.
That kind of environment tends to give you somewhat of a methodical, deliberate, calm pace.
Okay.
It also teaches patience. You can't rush corn and cotton. You have to plant the seeds and wait.
Okay. Okay.
So negotiating between sunup and sundown, sunrise, sunset, watching the stars as a child and listening to the crickets and the birds sing and walking in the fields and in the woods, being very close to nature, quite a contrast to fast urban life where there is a different kind of energy and the whole world is in a rush. Sometimes where we are going is not always, we're not always sure, but we're in a hurry to get there.
Right. Well, you know what, before I go on, because, I have to talk about all of these awards and accolades. I mean, I myself can't imagine that anybody here in our area, in Greater Cleveland, throughout the country, and even throughout the world don't know of you. But I did a little bit of research, and so your biography reads that you're a theologian, pastor, civic leader, one of America's most influential religious leaders. You graduated from Morehouse College with a Master's of Divinity. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Well, Bachelor of Arts at the college level,
Okay.
the undergraduate level, and Master of Divinity at the graduate level.
Okay. And then also your Doctor of Ministry was from
United Theological Seminary.
Okay. So, I mean, you've just done so many things. You're talking about, this kind of slow, methodical pace where you grew up. But it seems like you've been kind of moving along pretty steadily and pretty fast all of this time.
Well, the dreams were not slow dreams. They were big dreams, great aspirations. I grew up with that. I grew up in a community of dreams, although it was, in some respects, a tough community. But the toughness was not like the contemporary toughness that we experience on a daily basis. There were no gangs in LaGrange, Georgia. There might be now. There were no shootings among youth, although there were certain dangers in some quarters of adult life, and there were challenges. Our biggest challenge, however, in LaGrange, Georgia, was the challenge of racism. In my growing up experience, everything was segregated. There were signs everywhere that said colored only, white only, and that kind of American apartheid was something I grew up with. But my parents, and especially my father, our mother died very early in my life, and she was a very young woman in her early to mid-30s. We were always taught the sinfulness of segregation
Okay.
and race hatred.